What's up, Sparkman family? It's your boy Sparkman, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about something that I've been noticing, maybe a little disturbing as well, but something I am just, you know, it's been catching my eye. It's been rubbing me the wrong way as well, but also in the same regard, not. But here's why I will say I have a problem. Because I've been noticing at Target, Walmart, GameStop, Costco, Best Buy, all these places that sell card games, there has been really nothing on the shelves. And this is a Yu-Gi-Oh channel, so I will say with the caveat that that's probably not happening for Yu-Gi-Oh, for Magic. You know, we're still seeing stuff on the shelves for the most part for those card games. But for Pokemon, it's pretty much cleared off. You know, you don't really see them on the shelves anywhere you go. And if you are going to like locals, for example, they do price it up. So, you know, if we talk about kids trying to purchase stuff, possibly no way for them to actually purchase stuff with their allowance unless their parents are also fans of the game and also willing to splurge on some cards as well for them. But yeah, the game has gotten really hard to purchase for those kids, and I feel bad for them. I also, it's very disturbing, right? I'm watching a lot of videos of people fighting, pushing each other, trampling each other. I saw one video of someone stab one person. Like, you know, like it's just a card game at the end of the day. Like, you know, people talk about, oh, this game you can make a lot of profits. Yeah, I you know, this thing is retailed at like $50, but now it's like 150. All right, you're gonna stab someone for $100? Like, go, at that point, just go rob a bank if you're willing to stab someone for $100. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? It's the most idiotic thing to be fighting over a kid's card game. You want to collect it? Sure. You want to sell it? Okay, go for it. I understand the market's there. Don't be being physical with people. What's the point of that? I think it's so destructive, and I think it's gonna cause a lot of stores to not want to actually put out product, because it's going to be more harm than it is good for them to have that product out there, because they're going to see that it's only causing drama at their store and people are not going to want to come and buy at their store. And that being, you know, big retailers as well, they're not going to want to support this action as well if they're seeing it outside their stores. One thing I will say, and maybe it's controversial, maybe, you know, we'll see how you guys take it in the comment section down below. But I don't have a problem with people lining up. Because, you know, when we talk about people lining up for things, people lined up for like the new PS4 when it came out, the Xbox, when there's a new shoe release, people line up for it. When there's a concert, people line up early. You know, there are times where people line up early because they're very excited for something, and that's fine. That's fine, right? Whether it be a restock of Prismatic Evolutions, or, you know, restock of something else, or a new release of something. Listen, I get it, right? It's part of that hype. It's part of, you know, building the anticipation, the community, just really getting involved in the game, and people also trying to get their hands on the product. One thing I will say where I will fault Pokemon, and just other card games in general too, is that put out more supply, right? There's a lot of demand for this, right? Put out more supply, because most likely you're probably going to see like 10 people on this line probably get product, and then the rest don't. Yes, probably a limit to 1 per person, but there's also not a lot of supply that's given to these stores. A lot of times when I go to GameStop or somewhere, you know, they always say it's like, you know, we don't get that much supply of cards, so, you know, it sells out within the first like couple minutes. Yeah, like, and I will say this, and, you know, I have gone out and tried to buy something Pokemon related because I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm going to see the hype. And I haven't found one thing in the past few months. Like, I'll be honest with you, I have not found one thing. I'm not lining up because it's just not happening. I'm just not that person. I wouldn't line up for Pokemon because I'm also a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. I like Pokemon. I just don't, you know, I'm not number one fan of it, but I do think the card game is fun. I watched the show growing up, but again, I just wouldn't line up for something like this personally. But, you know, yeah, man, it's just tough. It's tough. Like I said, I don't have proper people lining up because, you know, you can see there's multiple videos, right? There's this one, for example. There's this one. People have like a couch. They're lining up, and, you know, like I said, I don't have a problem with people lining up, because I think it's just part of the hype. It's when it gets crazy. It's when people get police now involved in this drama, right? There's people fighting over to try to get in the store. There's people causing havoc here as well. People cutting the line. There's just a lot of things, and it tends not to be good anymore. People are cooking outside as well, which is absolutely wild. People are actually making food. Like people grilling at GameStop. Like this is crazy to me. And then people taking more than they should, right? There's a limit on stuff, and people buying more than they should or being are allowed to, right? So this was like a limit per one or whatever it was, and he obviously took more than one. So like I said, I get the hype of lining up. I get that. I think there's also a con to it because, again, kids not being able to get product because of people lining up as well. Here's what I will say too, to a lot of people out there. Is it really worth lining up to not spend the extra $60 or whatever it is? Now, there can be an argument made that we shouldn't be buying product for more than they should be, especially $60 more, $70 more, $100 more. Sure, we can make the argument. But when there's something hype, when there's something really out there that people are making it bigger than it is, obviously the price will go up, right? And that's with anything in the community for any product out there. A shoe release, a new console, whatever it is, things tend to price up because people want their hands on it first, and it tends to happen that way. Now, what I will say with Pokemon is that it just seemed like the supply is not there, and that's why it's causing so much craze. And it would probably help to an extent for Pokemon to probably again put out more supplies. This way, people aren't going so crazy. People aren't pricing up things higher than they should be, right? If there is like hundreds of product being put out to these stores, at that point, there's so much supply that it really, at that point, you wouldn't have a problem with the market, right? You wouldn't have people scalping and pricing things up more than it should be. You wouldn't have these lines because there'll be enough supply out there for people to go and get. I just think also Pokemon has to do their part putting out more supply. And again, even if they don't, I also don't see a problem with this to an extent, right? So, yeah. I also think for the most part, here's what I will say with this as well. If there is ongoing fights, ongoing issues, I don't also have a problem with stores stop selling cards. Like I wouldn't have a problem with it because at this point, yes, we probably shouldn't punish those that are doing the right thing, but at the same time, with all this happening, with all this chaotic stuff happening as well, should we really be promoting this type of culture in the card game community? And that's a real question to ask, right? Should we be promoting this type of culture in the card game community? I personally don't think so, right? When we talk about violence, that shouldn't be anywhere near a kid's card game. Like, let's be honest here. And I understand a lot of us that grew up with Pokemon, grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, with Magic, with all these other card games, are now older, and we're not kids anymore. There are kids in Pokemon specifically more than other card games. But again, we everyone that was a kid that grew up or now older as well, they're acting very foolish. And again, it's not everybody. It's really just a small percentage. But I do think there needs to be also a standard set for a lot of these stores to kind of put that out there as well. If there's some actions being happen at the store, we're not selling the product for the rest of the day. Like to open the store, we're not selling the product. And I think that will also, allow people to really, get their head straight and not do such foolish stuff, not cut the line, not start fights, not hurt someone, not start trampling people when the doors open. These types of things, not buying more than they should. So it does set a standard to have as well. And I think, can it bleed over to other card games? It surely can. It surely can. You know, other card games do have cards that are expensive as well. They do have product that do get expensive as well. So it can bleed over. People can start, you know, seeing their way into Yu-Gi-Oh, seeing their way into Magic, seeing their way into other, like One Piece. They will start looking at other card games at some point. They're like, oh, we can actually profit off this. We could profit off this. We could profit off this. So it will happen. It's a matter of time because, you know, people that are not even in the card game are starting to just be part of this like trend that's going on. I don't know what you want to call it, but seeing profits in their favor, and they're trying to capitalize on it, and they will take the opportunity to do it to other card games eventually as well. It's just, when will it happen, right? So we do have to be careful with that. With that being said as well, but like I said, it's not wrong to get hyped about a product, not wrong to line up. I also just think that the supply needs to be there, so that way it compensates the hype as well. Because I think that's when it gets violent. That's when it gets crazy. And hey, like, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like I said, I'm just looking at this from what I've been seeing all around, right? If I have it wrong, you let me know, everybody. But at least from what I'm seeing, this seems very dangerous. It just seems very dangerous for the community to be going down this route, especially for Pokemon, man. Like I feel for a lot of kids that love Pokemon, that want to go pick up cards and they can't. I feel for people that have been in the card game forever as well, and just enjoy the hobby and like to open packs, experience like pulling really awesome cards, and they're not getting the opportunity to do so. People also just being kind of rude as well. You know, the community not being the same. People have been telling me that as well, that it's been like a very harsh type of community these days. So, you know, and that's not everybody. Like, I don't want to put it in like a perspective like, oh, that's everybody. It's not. It's just, you know, when you get like one or two bad fish, it kind of just, it ruins a lot for a lot of people, and it rubs you the wrong way. And, you know, I get it. So, yeah, I just wanted to cover that. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because it just seemed like a really kind of like topic that should be brought up. And I know a lot of people are bringing it up as well, but I also wanted to just, you know, put it out there, especially to my community, my Yu-Gi-Oh community as well, because it is troublesome. It's very troublesome, and hopefully this gets better. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe and comment, and from yours truly, Sparkman, we'll catch you next one, and peace out, YouTube.